right, y'all. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Polymac Particles. Real quick turnaround from a night game to a day game today. I was just reading some stuff from our guy Los. Give us the Los. Give us the Los. We're going to talk. What'd you say, T?
I was just you threw the groove out there, and I started grooving because that groove in that tune is really good.
What kind of loan would you like? We're going to get to that in just a second. Hey, a lot going on today, man, on the aftermath of the Golden State Warriors being eliminated last night. If you missed the show, we'll get through it again today. We'll walk through it a little bit and talk about like all these loose threads now that are going to have to get tied up and where the Warriors go from here. We'll get into that today. Giants are off today hosting the Oakland. See, there I go. Hosting. Well, I'm going to still call them the Oakland A's. Blank that, dude. In my mind, they are the Oakland A's. Shout out Oakland. Shout out the Oakland Coliseum. And shout out the Oakland goddamn A's as far as I still see him. Hey, Creative Tony, Sons of Johnny Lee, wasted no time jumping in today, acknowledging the hat that you were gifted from the man himself. And by the way, did you guys know, I bet your sons already knows this. I was just reading an article this morning about this Pearl Jam tour. Did you know that Eddie Vedder himself went into Pittsburgh, threw his weight around, and they're saying he single-handedly kept the Roberto Clemente Museum open. I guess it was about to close down or shut its doors or something like that?
I believe it. Vedder does everything he touches turns to goodness. I believe it. I'm an Eddie Vedder junkie. Sons of Johnny Lee, thank you for the super. Thank you for the hat. Thank you for the sweatshirt. I gave you a nice little shout out last night too, brother. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
It just, by the way, you can't. I don't know if you can see. I hung your banner up behind me too.
Well, take the Suns banner down because I want to see that thing. Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah. I see that. Is that Johnny Lee himself on the banner?
That is Johnny Lee right there. So, dude, Sons, thank you. Also, we're talking about the A's.
Yeah.
Son sent me this nice little pin. This is the Quad Coliseum. Let me get the light out of there. Quad Coliseum, which is really cool. So, thank you, Sons of Johnny Lee Master. We appreciate the support, man. And getting a package like that in the mail versus getting bills or jury summons or, or like what is it? Restoration Hardware catalogs that are like literally like the Bible, like
sure,
the Bible.
Sure.
Like,
I get like interior design booklets in the mail. I have no idea why. Like I'm refurnishing my house or something like that. Like, hey, look at all our new designs. It's as big as a phone book. So I feel your pain on that. Also, Tony, I do want to talk a little bit about, as I was saying, kind of where do the Warriors go from here? I know you have a top 3 ready today. We've got some we've got some listener contributions. Rag sent a video in. I want to cue that up in a little bit. I also want to do the music assignment. I want to look at the Niner schedule. But before anybody goes anywhere, Creative Tony, let us give thanks to our wonderful sponsors. I'll start with Dr. Matt Young today, our newest sponsor. This is a guy who I love very much. He's a good friend of mine, and he runs it. He man himself, Young Dental, San Francisco group. Any questions, any concerns, any needs in your dental life, you, the kids, your wife, husband, father, mother, whatever it is, send them on down to Dr. Matt Young. I can promise you will not be in better hands than Dr. Matt Young. Email him at info@youngdentalsf.com. You can always pick up the phone and give him a shout. 415-392-8611. And again, as I like to say, I mean, probably the best endorsement I can give Matt Young is, one, he's a great guy. I mean, he really is. He's just a good dude. He's a good family man, San Francisco guy, been in business 25 years, loves his San Francisco Giants, loves the Niners and Warriors too. I have a feeling, though, he's Giants one. He's one of these guys. He leads with Giants first. And then there's his services. He offers comprehensive dental care, everything from cleanings and fillings to implants, emergency care, right on down the line. He specializes in implant surgery. So if you are going to be looking into that, he would be the guy to go to. I can promise you, you will not get better results. He's been taking care of me for over a decade, and he can definitely do the same for you. He accepts most major insurances, and you're going to have a very positive, stress-free experience with my main man, Dr. Matt Young. Go see him in Union Square. Trust me. Trust a brother.
Paulie, 2 songs that come to mind when I think of Dr. Matt Young, and it's because I think of the song Anxiety by Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. I also think of the song Anxious by General Public back in the day with Ranking Roger. But I think about that because I think people are anxious and have anxiety when they think about going to the dentist. Dr. Young and his group wipes that away. They're all about making sure that you are chilled out, that you feel comfortable. I mean, that is worth its weight in gold, in my opinion. So that's why we trust Dr. Young. That's why you should too. And again, Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you cannot make it in the week, go Saturdays and then go spend the rest of your day in San Francisco. Go dive into, the beautiful waterfront that I just can't get enough of in San Francisco. So he's on Post Street in Union Square. And then you can go down to the waterfront afterwards. But Dr. Young, info@youngdentalsf.com. Give him a call, 415-392-8611, 415-392-8611.
Thank you very much, Creative Tony. He is my main man. Also, got to give our love and thanks and friendship and respect to Carlos De La Fuente over at Flex Funding. This is my guy. He suffered through all those Warrior games with us in this Minnesota series. We were on text threads every night with Lowe's. I was laying low last night, though, man. I just didn't have a lot to say. I was kind of running out of passionate takes during the second half of that game. And it was just a really, really tough road for the Warriors. But Carlos was there every step of the way. He loves his Bay Area sports, and he loves helping people in the community and the Bay Area. He is a San Francisco native. He's been in business over 25 years, and he handles loans. He handles mortgage loans. We've talked about his expertise with HELOC loans. That's home equity lines of credit. So if you and your spouse or partner, whatever, what have you, are talking about looking into a HELOC loan, do it with Carlos. Trust me, this is what he does every day, every night. This is his specialty. And if you're just simply in a place like Creative Tony was talking about earlier today, actually, no, this was before the show. We always have a pre-show meeting. I'm like, T, how you doing today, man? He goes, I got problems with the bank. I got tuition payments for the kids coming up. And you know what rattled my cage a little bit is Creative Tony. I had to remind myself, pardon me, that I did a lot of that too. My kids went to a private high school. It was expensive. I just paid off one college tuition. I'm still working on another. And Creative Tony comes around. He just drives the lane and goes, yeah, but Paulie Mac, my kids are in fourth freaking grade and I'm writing tuition. So when did it all turn, bro? I was a product of public schools and I like to think I did okay out there as far as my education goes. But now it's all about the private school. You got to have the kids in a private school. So Creative Tony, I feel your pain. And if you're like Tony, and you're just looking for some extra cash to tackle everything in front of you, Carlos can talk to you about that as well. He does personal loans. He does mortgage loans. And he's just an easy guy to work with. He's a lot like Dr. Matt Young, very likable, personable guy who really cares about the Bay Area and he cares about the people in the Polymac audience and beyond. So give him a call and talk to him about your situation and then let him go to work for you. Imagine the peace of mind you'll have knowing you have an expert in your corner like Carlos. 925-250-4894, Big T.
Yeah, Carlos at myflexnow.com too, if you want to email him. Also, when we text with Carlos during these games, Carlos is probably the one who doesn't sugarcoat. He keeps it freaking real more than probably. Well,
he was moving guys last night. He's like, all right, I'm done with Looney. I'm done with this guy. I'm done with this guy. He was like going down the list. Yeah.
That's what I love about Los is that he keeps it real. And it's a testament to how he would handle your situation as well. He would keep it real. He's not going to BS you. He's not going to try and lure you into something that you don't want to do or that you shouldn't be doing. So it goes back to the trust Los, and that's what we do, man. But I like he keeps it real. And that's so huge. And I love following Los on Twitter too, on social media, because his takes are good. And if I ever need to go to Los, which I have a feeling I'm going to be doing soon.
I might be too, by the way. I might be giving Carlos some business. I might be right behind you, but go ahead.
Right. But I just love it. I love that Los keeps it real. And that's why we are partnering with him in the first place. So, it's a wide variety of loans that he can help you with and maybe a unique situation. Present it to Los, and he thinks outside the box and he keeps it real. So give him a call, 925-250-4894.
Creative Tony, I've got a brand new song parody, song tribute for Carlos. I'm only going to do this one time. It's a one-off performance, so enjoy it. Get your tape recorders rolling. You can sell it as a bootleg. You said Carlos likes to think outside the box. How do you like this for a song tribute for Carlos De La Fuente? Carlos is the man outside the box.
Oh, my God.
He's the man outside the box. Shout out Alice in Chains. Yeah. Buried in his bills. Bow, 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 bow. He's the man outside the box. Anyway, that's my Lane Staley. Hope you guys enjoyed that.
I love it. Also, Paulie, Los, I saw on the comment line, Los just mentioned on the comment line on the chat that rates did come down a little bit this week. So there's also that good news as well.
Yeah, good.
So, the dude knows what he's doing. Just give him a call or send him an email at carlos@myflexnow.com. Thank you, Los.
Thank you, Tony. By the way, Losty on the comment line right now. He goes, guys, if you really do love your team, you always got to keep it 1,000%. And you know what's funny about Carlos? He said this a couple of nights ago when we were all talking Niners on some text thread. And he goes, hey, man, he's like, I believe in tough love when it comes to my team. It's all about, and I'm the same way, dude. It's who's got time to sugarcoat anything anymore, dude? The clock's ticking on all of us. I'm looking to win some ball games. Tony, I do want to take a deep dive into the Warrior schedule today. Or excuse me,
hold on, Paulie. Hold on. I need to, first of all, handle some business. PMP Army. I'm PMP Army and PMP VIP. If you'd like to join the PMP VIP, bottom corner of your screen, hit that little icon next to the subscribe bell and join us for some extra content that we will start providing very, very soon. Thank you for those that have joined already. We appreciate it. But if you want to become a member of PMP VIP, click that little button right there. And as Mike Damone says, you won't regret it. And number two, also just continue to like while you're watching the show on YouTube. Just hit that like button, because it's all about the algorithms. It's all about the likes and the views and the subscribers and all that stuff. And it's all stuff that Paulie and I are learning on the fly. So
I know. It's crazy, man. Tony and I have never been busier. I keep trying to tell people this. Like, they don't understand. They're like, well, what do you mean? The show's only an hour and a half. It's like less work than you used to have at KMBR. See, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're freaking wrong. Bro, it's because like Tony said so famously, and it's the best way to describe our situation off the air, we're a freaking two-man operation. Yeah. I wish we could hire a social media guy. I wish we could hire a sales guy, because you want to see something funny, you got to go see me bumbling around on sales calls. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm out here trying to talk to Clay. Anyway, we're doing the best we can, and Tony, I appreciate that. And thanks to everybody for signing up for the VIP service. Extra content is coming soon. Free buffet coming your way. What's up, Winks? Good to see you today. Winks says it's all about the likes. No dislikes. So give me the likes, give me your subscriptions. Tony, give me everything you have. Empty your wallets and give it to me. No, I'm just kidding.
Give it all you got. 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 Was that Two Live Crew?
I hope so. I mean, it sounds like it should be. I'm not sure that I can really identify that one, but it sounds very Two Live Crew.
Yeah, Two Live Crew. Man,
can I tell you a funny Two Live Crew story? I actually have a funny Two Live Crew story. I got a good one.
Is it presentable? Is the question?
Totally. You were part of it. You were part of it, actually. I'm going to tell the story. Let me tell this. It's actually happened.
A lot of Two Live Crew lyrics are not presentable these days.
On that freaking note. So Creative Tony and I were doing the podcast at KMBR for like 8 years. I think we did that with Shannon Kaler as our third. Yeah. And it was a fun dynamic, man. We had a great time. And every time I talk about Shannon, I'm reminded we got to get his ass back on this show.
Real quick, Paulie. I'm going to do that again.
Why am I getting the air horn? You don't have to.
That's for me. That air horn.
You one too. Hold on. Here's one from me to you. Okay. Now I want to get involved. Go ahead.
I was talking to Shannon yesterday. I'm gonna go see his show on Monday night. They play Monday night in San Francisco.
Where?
It's at the what is it? The one on Van Ness? No.
The Regency.
The Regency Ballroom.
That's a great room, dude. I love the Regencies. That's where where you saw the Sabbath show, the Zach Wild show?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great venue. That's an underrated, seldom talked about venue, but that is a cool room.
Great room. I mean, like you said, seldom talked about. And a lot of bands, I don't know why they don't play there, but it's a great room. So he's playing there Monday night. I'm going to go to the show. So I will report back on Tuesday.
I might come with you to that show.
You should. They go on at 8:00.
Yeah, so I think I'll be there too. Tell Kaler to get my ass on that guest list. He knows I'm not paying to see his band. I'm just kidding. I love Shannon. I think I will join you Monday because I haven't seen those guys in a while. You know who I saw in the Regency Ballroom a long time ago when I was still working on 107.7 The Bone. This is pre-Murph and Mac. I saw Rob Halford's solo band at the Regency, and it was awesome. It was really awesome, dude. But anyway, Tony and I, here's my Two Live Crew story, and then we'll get into the meat of today's show. And thanks for bearing with us here. Tony, potatoes. Yeah, meat and potatoes. So Tony and I are down in Miami Beach, dude. South Beach. Freaking love it down there, man. We were down there for the Super Bowl. This is 2019, 2020, something like that.
I know where you're going. Okay.
So we're down there, and we're still trying to do the podcast to present on the KMBR webpage. So we needed to record a new podcast. Tony and I were at Media Row, so we just do our stuff sitting there, and we had Shannon Kaler somehow piped in on like a ISDN line or something like that.
Yeah.
When it came time to talk about the music assignment that week, and I forget what the topic was, but it had something to do with like music from Florida, like Petty or Skinnerd or whatever. And then Tony's like, hey, by the way, Two Live Crew is from Florida. I'm like, beautiful, perfect. And then Shannon Kaler, Mr. Tight Jeans, Mr. Sensitivity, Mr. Safe Space over here, he starts driving the lane with, man, I'm not really comfortable with you guys playing a Two Live Crew song. Like, he was getting all uptight about it. I had to take the phone and yell at his ass on the beaches. Dude, I was walking around like in front of the Atlantic Ocean down there. It was a beautiful Miami Beach day. And meanwhile, Tony was like, what are you doing, dude? Because I took the phone. We were in the middle of a lunch. And then Kaler started coming at me with his objections to Two Live Crew. And I'm like, bro, you really need to loosen the F up, dude. You got to loosen up.
Yeah,
and,
right.
This went on for like a half an hour. I was like, let me tell you what's going to happen, Shannon. We're playing the damn song. You're going to endorse it, and we're going to just move on. Like, I'm getting upset now just thinking about how I had to like explain to him that we are going to play a Two Live Crew. It was a snippet, dude. It was a snippet of a song. Do you remember the track you chose? I don't remember what was so objectionable. What was the song?
I think it must have been one of their dirtier tracks. I'm probably Me So Horny just to keep it somewhat on the level because they had a radio edit for that.
Yeah, me love you long time. Sure.
Okay, yeah, right, exactly. So I think it was probably Me So Horny. I didn't go deeper into their catalog because you go deeper into their catalog, it just gets dirtier and dirtier.
By the way, shout out Luther. What's his name? Luther Campbell, right? Rest in peace. Am I saying?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. Rest in peace. Anyway, that's my Two Live Crew story. Hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, Tony. We have a couple of things on the Warriors I wanted to get into.
Hold on. I don't think Luther has passed. I think that another member has passed.
Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead. I'll find out. But I don't want to put Luther.
No, we don't want to put him 6 feet under if he's still walking around the streets of South Beach. I know we definitely don't want to prematurely bury anybody. But Tony, let me ask you this: a day.
Okay, sorry. Mark Ross, aka Brother Marquis of Two Live Crew, passed away in 20. I don't see the year, but anyways, he did pass. So
yeah, I figured. I thought somebody from Two Live Crew had checked out recently. Anyway, rest in peace down there.
Sorry, Paul. Again, one more time. I apologize. Sorry. Escobar the third, you're on the money, dude, with Two Live Crew. He just wrote "pop that," and then he did an icon. So yes, pop that. We're gonna leave it at that. That just gave me a good chuckle. Thank you, Escobar. Paulie, proceed.
No, I know, Escobar. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Could you imagine Two Live Crew hitting the scene today? People would be. I mean. No. I don't even know what the reaction would be. They'd probably be jailed immediately. You know what I mean? They'd probably be cuffed and jailed on stage. But anyway, Tony, I wanted to get back into just the aftermath because after, this initial, when the dust settles here with the Warriors, we're probably not going to have a lot of Warrior news to talk about until they make some moves down the road. But now that you've had a night to absorb this thing, you've digested the loss, it is very disappointing, especially when you hear Steve Kerr saying, I think this team could have won a title with Steph Curry if Steph Curry was healthy.
Agreed.
I don't know that I disagree with that either. I was saying the same thing. I'm like, I really like our chances with Draymond, Butler, and Steph Curry, of course, and then the supporting cast. But let me ask you this, Tony, rather than kind of comb through the whole thing, all the misery of last night, just tell me who you're willing to part ways with. Now, we talked about Giannis coming a little bit last night and what that would cost. It's a severe, steep price tag. But who are some of the players you would be willing to say goodbye to? Not for Giannis, just in general, just to cut guys loose.
You're getting into Tony's top 3 territory, but I'll go the perimeter here for you. I mean, there's chatter about GP2, there's chatter about Buddy Hield, about Guy Santos, about Looney. I would love to see Looney stick around. Of all those names I just said, Looney is just. I love Looney. I love the way he plays. I love the heart he plays. His minutes are always valuable. Yeah. If it's time to let GP2 go, I'm not super bummed about that. Same with Buddy Hield, although it seems like a fun guy, and it seems like he and Butler developed this fun little,
romance.
Romance, yeah. But and then Guy, I like Guy also, but if he has to go, he has to go. Again, who do I want to see in blue and gold next year? Is the big freaking Kiwi from New Zealand, dude. I want Steven Adams. I don't care if it's just a 1-year deal because this contract's up. So I don't care if it's just a 1-year deal. Bring Steven Adams to spell. If you have Looney and Adams, big guys, maybe bring in one other big guy. I would love to see Adams in the blue and gold next year. And then you got to talk about like Kuminga. You got to talk about this whole Giannis talk. That's kind of what we're going to get into in top 3. But Curry, we talked about this last night. I asked you, would you dare trade Draymond? And, I don't think that's really a possibility. I think that, like you said, Paulie, I think those two are going to try and get one more ring together. But the conversation is about if this whole Giannis talk, that if you want to entertain Giannis and his max deal, you can't keep Curry, Draymond, and Butler. One of those 3 has to go. And we know we know which two we think are going, but dude, but Butler losing Butler, man. I mean, this is all again to get Giannis, which I don't know if that'll happen, but that's, you know, I don't feel connected to I feel very connected to Looney, basically is
yeah, no, dude, I'm totally cool with that, Tony. I love Kevon Looney too. I've been a fan of his entire career. I remember when the Warriors drafted him and he immediately missed like the entire season because he had to have hip surgery and then he had a second hip surgery. And I swear to God, I remember having a conversation with Marcus Thompson on the Murph and Mac show. This is like 8-9 years ago. And Marcus was saying Kevon Looney is like this close to losing his place on the Golden State Warriors because the guy just couldn't get on the floor. And I'm so glad they stuck with him. And I'm so glad they allowed him to rehab, become a better player, grow into a really, really good man too. Like Kevon Looney is just a rock solid guy, man. And I agree with you, Tony. I would like to keep Kevon Looney on the roster. I think he adds a lot of intangibles, stuff that doesn't show up on the, on the score sheet necessarily, but he does a lot of dirty work. He's very sound with the ball. He makes good decisions. He can rebound. He's big. I like what you were saying about Steven Adams. I think that would be a nice plus to give that was one of the key things that cost them this series. They could not contend with the size of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like Julius Randle was having his way in the paint. Gobert having his way in the paint. Someone's got to stop that. Like all the Warrior championship teams, Tony, they all had big men that were difference makers, whether it was Andrew Bogut, whether it was Zaza, whether it was David West. I mean, they always had a guy who had a presence in the paint, who was nasty, big, physical, protect his guys. And you know what else is all those guys have in common, Tony? All those big men could pass. They were all really good with the basketball. And Steven Adams, he checks all those boxes.
Dude, also look at the teams that are left in the playoffs. They all have really good big guys. So there's a method to the madness. And Paulie, for just stick with me for a second here, cause I'm Looney.
Yeah, nice, dude, nice. Come on, Looney, like that. Come on, Looney, like that. Well, I love you, baby. Yeah.
And then also, you mentioned Marcus Thompson. I want to do a little promotion for the Bay Area Sports Collective tomorrow. 1 o'clock. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, a little after 1-ish, because Tolbert's big on the ish.
Yeah.
1-ish. Marcus Thompson will be joining Tom Tolbert in Tom's backyard for their show tomorrow. So 1 o'clock, check out Tom after. We're at noon. We're at high noon. Right when we're done after high noon, bounce over to Tom and get Tom and Marcus Thompson from Tom's backyard.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, actually, for a couple of reasons. One is, Marcus Thompson rules. I love Marcus Thompson. We've had him on our old podcast. We should get him on this show, too. And I know his conversation with Tom will be great. That thing will probably go on for a couple of hours. Like, that's an example. Yeah, and that's an example of a show. I don't want that thing cut down to an hour. Let that thing breathe. Give me 2 hours of Tom and Marcus. But it leads me to this. I do have to make an announcement about tomorrow's show. I got to end at 1 o'clock tomorrow because I got a meeting here in San Rafael, but I'm meeting with the Metallica people, and it's about the tickets that we're going to be giving away. So I got to jam at 1 tomorrow. So we'll give you an action-packed high noon, 1 hour show, and then bam, done. I got to get down to this meeting so I can hook all you guys up. That's how I feel. It's like, you know what, dude, if I have an opportunity to pull a couple of you guys over the wall and get you to the Metallica gig, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's why I want to go to this meeting tomorrow, because we're going to work out all the logistics of the ticket giveaway. And Tony, from what I understand, we're going to have a pretty healthy amount of tickets to give away.
Let's go. Let's go.
We will have multiple pair of Metallica tickets for both shows at Levi's. That's coming up in June. That's going to be here pretty soon. That's only about a month away.
You know what? Also, we were talking about this with Neil Donardi from Longbridge Pizza and Los D from Flex Funny. We were talking about maybe a possible like some kind of pre-show hang tailgate something at Levi's or around Levi's. I heard that something that Levi's doesn't allow tailgating for concerts, but they let it happen for games. So,
which makes what's the difference? You know what I mean? Like you still got paying customers that want to have a couple of burgers. Let's fire up the grill. Seriously? What's the difference?
I don't understand, but. Maybe that's the way.
Get on the phone and talk to your guy Jed and straighten that out for me, Tony. Go ahead.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm happy that Jed has stayed out of the way.
Me too.
Years ago, he and his father, big old John, they were getting way too involved, and it's like you hire these guys to do their gigs, let them do their jobs. So now they've let them do their jobs. And Paulie, before we get to top 3 and bookmarks, actually, it's kind of a segue. Did you the Niners schedule? Do you want to talk a little Niners schedule? Because, dude, like I think it's the Sons of Johnny Lemaster said he's already booked his flights and stuff for New Orleans because they play in New Orleans.
Definitely.
If you get a chance to go see Niner ball in New Orleans, and I saw bad Niner ball in New Orleans a couple times, but do it because you go to the Superdome, you walk down Canal Street, and you get to Superdome. It's just the freaking best. So just if you can get there, but how you like? Do you want a little Niners schedule talk? I feel like it's a favorable schedule, dude.
Well, I do. I want to get into that for sure. But let me finish my Warrior thing because I haven't told you. I want to tell you, the guys, that I am willing to cut loose. Like I've seen enough. I like all these guys, but I've seen enough. I don't think these guys are going to be difference makers. And I start with the biggest name of them all, Jonathan Kuminga. I would move him. I really would. I think that. I think this is the time to do it. His stock is up. He was putting points on the board in the playoffs. Like he led the team in scoring in game 4. I think there will be some interest around the league. He's so young. He's so athletic, but he's not a complete basketball player. He's very sloppy with the ball. He can be very unsure of himself sometimes. Like he doesn't know what he wants to do with the rock in his hand. That concerns me. And I think that you could get something for him. And that's why I think the time is now. Like there's just too many turnovers. I think there's a kind of a lack of defense there. And maybe he'll grow into excelling in all those areas. But right now, I would move Kuminga. I think I've seen enough from him. Buddy Hield, same thing. He's been around for a while anyway. I don't know. You could move him. You could package Buddy Hield. And I would consider cutting Moody out too. He just was extremely disappointing in the postseason. Like I don't know what happened to him. Cause like you said, Tony, I know he was your guy, for a big part of the regular season, but dude, when we really needed him to produce and to score, he had a horrible postseason this year. And that's kind of where I am. Like what Los was saying, dude, sometimes it's got to be about like tough love. And even though I do love Moody, and by the way, like you said, GP2, I think I'm good saying goodbye to him too. So for me, it's Kuminga, Hield, Moody, and GP2. Are you down with Moody keeping him and still letting this thing develop, or would you throw him in a package for a better player?
I really don't know what to think about Moody right now because he was part of the final third of the season in that run where they played really good basketball, but then he didn't play well in the playoffs, and then Buddy Hield kind of supplanted him in the lineup, and I don't know what to think. And then he came in, granted they were down by 20 when he came in last night, but he was a spark plug off the bench. But I really don't know what the vibe is between Kerr and Moody because before Butler came, Moody wasn't playing. And then Butler comes and Moody gets mixed into the starting lineup and they're winning ball games. And so I don't know really what to think. I don't have an answer for you, Paul, except for if I had to choose between Moody and Buddy, I would probably choose. Oh man, that's a tough one.
I keep Moody just because he's a younger player. Like Buddy,
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'll be honest with you, dude, I was really disappointed in Buddy Hield too. And especially in this Minnesota series, like, dude, bro, where were you, man? Where freaking was he? Like they really needed his shooting and his scoring. And he had a problem holding on to the basketball too. He was turning it over all over the place. He and Kuminga. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with the Golden State Warriors. I really want to see these guys make one last run at a title, but they're going to have to make some moves. I think we all know that. So, we'll report as it comes, but that's kind of where my head's at. Back to your thing about the Niners in New Orleans. I can speak from experience too. I went down there in 2019 and it was the most fun road trip I think I've ever been on for like a sporting event outside of like the World Series or something like that, which is very special. But this was, first of all, the flight. I went down on a Thursday night. This is 2019. The Kittle game, dude, where Kittle was dragging fools down the sideline. It was still the Garoppolo era. And when I got on the plane, I'm telling you, 90% of the plane was Niner fans flying down there on a Thursday night. So they were like chanting on the plane, "Let's go Niners!" like on the plane. So it was so much fun. And then once like the Niner takeover thing is real.
Yeah,
I know you see it on TV. You see it at the Rams games. They went down to Dallas and did that. The Niner fans have started traveling extremely well. And I think there was no better evidence of this than when I went to New Orleans. The Niner, I don't know who arranged this, but somebody down there had a permit and they had an entire block party going on of all Niner fans. Cookouts, music, and I'm talking, Tony, without exaggerating, there was maybe 1,000 people at this thing. It was a big crowd, and it was about a block away from the Superdome, and it was like this outdoor tailgate that I went to before the game. So, yeah, I encourage everybody to get down there and do that. Joey C's checking in as a Super T. Throw him up there. See what he's got for us.
Yeah, dude. Joey C, what's up, brother? Joey Cicchini, Joseph Cicchini. Did I hear tailgate? The South Shield tailgate featuring Stoner Dudes band Raiderhead
Oh,
was
yeah.
legendary, and our food was the best in the parking lot. Man, do I believe it? He changed his picture, by the way. Wasn't he rib? Didn't he have ribs before?
You're damn right he had ribs,
Yeah.
and but he does. He mentions the ribs here. Now, the Tony, he sent a video in too that I put in bookmarks of him taking a pie out of the oven, a pizza. It looks incredible. Joey C, I've been to that South Shield tailgate a couple times, and I saw Stoner Dude's band play. Dude, Stoner Dude goes all the way back to the beginning with Creative Tony and I. Like he was OG day one. Tony, ready? Your Stoner Dudes, your Nutsacks. How about that guy? Nutsack. Remember our listener? Tony and I had a listener named Nutsack, and the guy was like a very successful graphic designer, but his nickname was Nutsack. I remember hanging out with him once. Like he came into the station, and remember he rode like a motorcycle. He had like his biker gear on and shit like that. And I remember like he was talking to us, and I looked over. Take that banner down. I got to demonstrate something. He was talking to Creative Tony, and I was just observing these guys. And I looked over. I just happened to look over, and I saw I saw Nutsack take a joint and basically put it in your shirt pocket, just in the middle of a conversation. I was like, oh, look at how Nutsack likes to roll. So anyway, yeah, Stoner Dude, those are great tailgates. And Joey C, we would love to have you at a Metallica tailgate, 100%.
Random thought, but you just came up with a great invention. You know the little clips that you put on pens, like these little clips right here, right?
Yeah.
What if you invented a clip that you could put on J's, and then you could stick them in your shirt pocket, so then the J is just hanging, ready to go, and you
hanging on the outside of the shirt,
or the inside, either way. But then they're just hanging there, ready to go, and they won't get smashed, they won't get ruined. And they're just ready to go. I think I might have come up with an invention. I don't know.
What do we call this? The joint? Like, what do you call this thing?
I don't know. A joint. I don't know. Wonder joints.
Well, maybe this will inspire you. I remember in the Steve Martin movie, The Jerk, he invents that thing for the glasses so it doesn't fall off your nose, and he called it the OptiGrab, dude. Yeah, this is the OptiGrab. It was like the stupid thing on the front of his glasses. And he's like, that way they'll never fall off. And he goes, you don't take them off here. Use the OptiGrab. And he was using this OptiGrab. Anyway. That's what you need. You need a good name, dude. Give us some names for Tony's new invention. The joint clip, the I don't know. Help me out.
How about just the green grab? I mean, I don't know, the green grab right out of the gates. You could do green grab. You could also do like you could spell joint JOYNT and joint grab.
That's it. Well, Tony's getting playful now. How about this? Look at Noemi checking in. The spliff splint.
Nice. Beautiful.
I kind of like that. Beautiful. The spliff splint. Hey, Tony, let me see your spliff splint. Can I borrow your spliff splint? Yeah.
Speaking of Noemi, thank you, by the way. This is episode 89 of Polymax Particles, by the way. So we're rapidly approaching our century mark. But also, Noemi, I saw your post on Blue Sky, and I want to give you props because she said in preparation for episode 88, which was last night's night flight, she posted a picture of Freddie Solomon, number 88, and wanted to give love for number 88, Freddie Solomon.
No question.
So, Noemi, thank you for that. I saw that, and yes, rest in peace, Freddie Solomon. One of my favorite Niners as a kid. I think Noemi said it was one of hers as well. So episode 88 last night, in memory for Freddie Solomon.
Every time Freddie's name comes up, I got to tell this story about Murph and I. We used to do this thing on the Murph and Max show years ago at the earliest stages called the mystery guest. I love the mystery guest. You get somebody to join the show. You don't tell them who it is, and then you give the audience clues for a couple hours before the guy joins us. You know, this guy was a 49er from 77 to 83 or whatever. You give all these clues, and finally you reveal, the big reveal happens, and you have him come on the show. So we had Freddie Solomon as a mystery guest once.
Yeah.
And Tony Salvador, holy shit, was he pissed. Dude, we had Freddie on the air for like 30 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
Without taking a break. And then Tony's like, can I see you guys after the show? And we have to go down to his office, Murph and I, and I'll never forget this. He goes, so I'm driving in, okay? Because his point ultimately was that this thing went on way too long. He's like, I'm driving into work. Yeah, I hear you talking to Freddie Solomon. Okay. I parked the car in the garage. I come upstairs, go to the deli, Tan's Deli. Shout out Tan. He goes, I go to Tan's Deli. They're making the egg salad. You're still talking to Freddie Solomon. I get in the elevator. I come upstairs. I get in the lobby. You're still talking to Freddie. He was so pissed off about the length of that. So Freddie Solomon, fist in the air. You will never be forgotten. He was a great Niner, dude. He was right there when the whole thing started to turn. One of Joe Montana's favorite earliest favorite targets, none other than Freddie Solomon. Yeah.
Other 88s in Niner lore, like did Selleck wear 88 for a second? I feel like
that's a good. The fact that you even just pulled Selleck out of nowhere, I think Selleck might have been 84.
I don't know. And also,
you get some confirmation. We need some help on that. That's a great one, and I don't have a lot of 88s at my disposal with the Niners.
Selleck 49ers, but also Paulie. Today with episode 89, I want to give love to Ty Streets.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Right? I had no problem with Ty Streets. I really didn't, dude. Right? Ty Streets made a few plays. Dude. He really did.
I'm looking at a picture of Brent Selleck wearing number 88 in the red and gold. So
impressive. That's the great thing about Creative Tony and I. If I don't get it, he will, and vice versa. If he misses one, I'll pick up the rear and get it. Let's see.
Look at Aaron Kask. Look at Aaron Kask. Singleton was number 88 on the 94 championship team. I think you were spot on the money, dude. Isaac Bruce. Yes, Isaac Bruce for a year. Oh, my God, man. Wow.
Isaac Bruce. Jesus Christ. I forgot about Isaac Bruce.
I forgot about the Isaac Bruce era, which was 1 year.
It was a very forgettable era. That was like that might have been, that might have been Mike Nolan. I think that was during the Mike Nolan era. Remember when Mike Nolan hit the scene and he was wearing a suit on the sidelines and that lasted like 2 weeks and then he got rid of that shit? Hey, but since we're doing Niner talk right now, T, why don't we bring up the schedule? Let's dive into that. I want to look.
Stand by, Paulie. I'm gonna hijack the show right now, real quick. I'm gonna hijack it. You ready? I'm gonna hijack the show.
Tony's top 3. Tony's top 3. Tony's top 3. Oh, dude, we haven't fed ducks in a while. That's music to my ears, literally and metaphorically.
And Paulie, before we get into the top 3, one of the biggest fans of TT3 is Rags himself.
Yeah.
So I want to pull up a video that Rags sent us, and this is part of like our in honor of the PMP mailbag. You can email us, pauliespod@gmail.com. pauliespod@gmail.com. Goes into the mailbag. Rag sent us this, and I feel it's only appropriate that we play this today after last night's late night flight and as we embark on today's top 3.
All right.
Space! So here we go. That was the end of it. Okay. That was the end of it. So here we go. Let me go.
6:47 on the way to the gym after a night flight with our song, Smacky Baby. Let's fucking go. Ace of Space.
That's right. Okay, dude. You got to bravo, Rex. Bravo, my man. That's my man. By the way, how insane is this guy? He's with us till like 1:30 in the morning, New Jersey time, and he's up at 6 going to the gym. Look at him. Oh, man. Hey, by the way, the clock is ticking. He's off the wagon in about 2 weeks. So get ready. Yeah, get ready.
That's his birthday, and that's also on a Wednesday night. So remember, he's jumping off the wagon, or is it on the wagon? No, he's jumping off the wagon.
He's jumping off the wagon. He's sitting on the wagon right now. Yeah.
How about one more time? Just give it one more time. We're gonna do a reprise. Reprise, and then we'll move on.
6:47 on the way to the gym after a night flight with our song, Smacky Baby. Let's fucking go. The Ace of Space.
Yeah, get that gym. You hit that gym, Rags. Do what you got to do in there, man. And by the way, that is, if anybody is not identifying that is the one and only Lemmy and Motorhead with the Ace of Spades. Rags and I had a big, I can't get into it right now. It's just going to take too long. But that song has a lot of significance in Rags' life and my life, especially in our high school years. Anyway, T, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Oh, dude, I just love it. Thank you, Rags, for that video. Anybody send us anything like that, pictures, videos, just emails. We'll get them in the mailbag and we'll throw them on the show whenever it's
let me air horn your ass real quick. Hold on. I want to drop an air horn on you, buddy. Give me one. Let me hijack the show for a second, if I may, in the middle of top 3. And I want to kind of build on what you just said, because you just hit a really key point. Like part of this, I'm just looking over, part of the new world that we're working in now, this internet kind of radio thing that we're doing, is the fact that obviously we can't take calls anymore. And Tony and I are very like old school this way, in that if you notice, if you listen to talk radio now, sports talk radio, they really don't take calls anymore. Like no shows talk to the people in the community. Tony and I have always been big fans of that, because as I've said a million times, this is like Showbiz 101. If there's no audience, there's no show. Okay, so I love talking to the audience. I love getting to know you guys. But since we can't take calls anymore, like Tony said, this is the best way to connect with us now. Like, your comments are awesome. We love seeing them, and I'm glad everybody can like get involved that way and talk to each other and all that. But if you have additional content, if you have videos like the thing Rag sent in, send all that stuff in, man. Like the email address Tony just gave you, because we can share that on the show. It's another way to get you guys involved, since we can't do the phone calls. That's all, T. I just want to encourage that and let people know that we're all for that. It's not like we're going to push them aside. We want that stuff. So send it in, man. Go nuts.
Yes, and also part of the PMP VIP process is making a database of email addresses of all of you that joined the VIP. And then I take those email addresses, make a database, and then we use those as a way to form the video chats and stuff like that, and the special shows and the special content. So that's why we're gathering all this data as we speak. Bradley C84, I saw your comment way early ago, and it was about why he doesn't show up as a member of the VIP, PMP VIP, with the green letters and stuff. Yeah, I will look into that, because you need to be recognized. And thank you for joining the PMP VIP. And then
stand up and be counted for what you're about to receive. Okay, yeah. Tony? You know what I'm quoting right there? I bet you don't. Do you know what that is?
No.
Stand up and be counted for what you are about to receive.
That's for those. That's a bad Brian Johnson. That's not for those about to rock, AC/DC.
Oh, dude, yeah.
About to rock.
Dude, the cannons are on stage, bro. By the way, Creative Tony, any interest in seeing AC/DC?
Sure. I mean, yeah, why not? Nowadays, at this point in my life, I always say why not instead of why.
Yeah,
right?
that's good for you, T. That's what I'm saying, bro. Live your life, dude. Live your freaking life. Because before you know it, dude, we're going to be hooked up to like some kind of like IV machine in the hospital, getting like liquid meals and shit, like learning how to walk again, all that. I am not looking forward to old age, dude. I really don't want any part of it. Go ahead, T.
It's you and I are going to be De Niro and Pesci and the Irishman in prison, eating bread and wine in our late 80s. Is basically you and I.
Bro, playing bocce, just throwing the stupid ball around in our wheelchairs. Well, you know, Winks and I have a very long-standing riff, and we kind of made an agreement with each other that once we're at that point where we're no longer able to really even like open the door and walk out of the house, and we got to be cared for in like some facility, we've already decided we'll be side by side in wheelchairs, listening to Black Sabbath, like yelling at the nurses. They'll be like, you can't listen to that in here. And I'll be like, yeah, but that's Electric Funeral. You know what I mean? I got to hear the jam in Electric Funeral. So we're going old age home. We're going Black Sabbath albums, and we've always talked about this, and I'm not sure, Tony, where you stand on this, but have you ever noticed that a lot of really old people who are in wheelchairs or just sitting on their couches at home, what's with the blanket on the lap? I can't explain it, but you see it.
I think it's warm. I just think it's warmth. I think it's warmth because your limbs get cold. Honest to God, I really think it's just warmth. Like keeping yourself warm on the nether regions.
You've seen that though, right? T, the freaking the blanket on the lap.
Yeah, that'll be me. I will have a blanket on my lap.
We're going to save you a seat then, Tony. We got to all make sure we coordinate and wind up in the same old age home. Because I got to be honest, if I do have to go to an old age home, how about this topic today? If I do have to go to an old age home or whatever you call it, senior assisted living, I don't even want to get into it, dude. It terrifies me. But dude, I won't be that bad. If me and Winks are hanging out and we're like 87 years old, like riffing and you know, listening to Sabbath, it could be worse.
What's the problem? I mean, seriously, why is that? Yeah,
it sounds like a good time. Actually, sounds like a pretty good time. Yeah,
a couple things. First of all, Patrick Patton, dude, the artist behind Particle Land, Patrick Patton, has now joined the PMP VIP. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much, Patrick. And also, I want to show Patrick's other Particle Land video. He made he made the entrance into the Particle Land video. Then he also sent us what Particle Land looks like inside. I'll have to show that on the show someday soon. Yeah. And also Steve Bisecchio is a super. Like he says, schedule highlights. Easiest strength of schedule. No international games. No teams coming off a bye. Home opener September 21st. Hives at the Warfield September 20th. Dude, look at you, Steve. Nice, man. That's great.
I thought also, by the way, Jeff Winkler, my buddy Winks, checking in saying at the Ozzy Osbourne farewell show, Ozzy just might have a blanket over his lap as he's sitting in his chair singing. So, you know what? It might be. He might have like a satanic blanket over his lap. Not bad, Winks. And then I saw.
Oh, no, please, God, help me.
Yeah. Damn it. Let's go. Hey, Tony, also Noemi, one of our favorite people, Noemi said that I think she said she's going to have a tailgate on the 21st at that Niner game. So, yeah, we'll all connect. We'll make sure we do it. And hopefully we'll have a tailgate at one of the Metallica shows, if not both. Especially if Neil Denardi comes down and starts making pies on the spot, I mean, we'll have the best party in the entire parking lot. It's going to be a hell of a time. Yeah.
Well, I feel like, we look for something for the Metallica show, and then let's plan something in the fall for multiple tailgates in the Levi's lot, because that would be tailgating is one of my favorite traditions, pastimes of sports. I love the tailgate, and dude, don't sleep on the post-game tailgate. Is a very underrated tailgate is the post-game I remember many Niner games at Candlestick Park where the post-game tailgates were better than the pre-game tailgates.
Are you talking? Well, the Stick had a whole different. It seemed like, thinking back to the Candlestick Park days, dude, you could do anything in those parking lots. You know what I mean? You could have discos. I mean, they let you hang out there for a very, very long time. And I don't think it's like that at Levi's. I think they want you out of there. They try to move
Sure.
I'm not can't confirm that 100%, but I get the impression they don't let you. I don't think they would want you firing up grills after Niner games, unless I'm wrong. You guys tell me. I missed the Stick too. We got
Niners. I don't care. I'm gonna stay in that lot until you force me to leave, because you know what? I paid my ticket price. I'm part of your fan base. I'm gonna stay there as long as humanly possible. Just like I stay in the stadium. I literally have to be told to leave the stadium. I like sitting in an empty stadium at the end of a game and just wait. I don't want to get in line and be part of this huge stampede to get out of the stadium. I like to wait. It drives my kids crazy, by the way. But I always say, nope, we're not leaving. Sit down.
Someday they're going to understand, even though things that they don't like that you do now, someday they're going to like that stuff. They're just little kids, but they're going to be staying. When the Giants played their last game at Candlestick Park in '99, I'm not exaggerating when I say I was one of the final, 50 people still in I literally sat in Candlestick for like 2 hours after that game. I'll never forget. In fact, Phil Lesh, Bob Weir, and Donna Jean sang the national anthem that day at the last game at Candlestick Park. And they had a big ceremony after the game. They took home plate. They flew it over to Pac Bell Park, which it was called at the time. But I'm right there with you, Tony. I'm a big sit-in-my-seat guy when the show ends. Or at the Sphere, dude, the same thing. I was at the Sphere a couple of weeks ago. The show ends, and everyone's running for the doors. I'm like, have a good time with that, because you're just going to be standing. Yeah.
What's the rush? You're either relaxed in your seat, enjoying the scene, taking in the scene, and noticing things that you wouldn't notice during the game or the show because you're focused on the game or the show. Now you can actually take a look around. What would you rather do? Spend your time there, or spend your time literally with people right in front of you, right behind you, right to the sides of you, scooting out together in a little stampede? I'd rather just stay in the seats. And Paulie, one thing I do a public service announcement too.
Yeah.
The Levi's lot has become 4th of July after games now, where there's fireworks all over the place, dude. Dude, they're shooting up. You could be walking down an aisle, and next thing you know, some guy's lighting off I forget the names, the firework names, the big ones that shoot up bottle rockets, and the big ones. I forget. God, I'm blanking on the names. Roman candles. Thank you, Roman candles. If you want to light off a Piccolo Pete, sure. A little whistle, fine.
I don't even know what a Piccolo Pete is. What's that? I don't even know what these names. What's a Piccolo Pete?
Piccolo Pete was kind of just it made a whistling sound. It wasn't but I'm talking about big ass fireworks that go up and then explode.
Yeah.
And so it's we don't need to make the parking lot 4th of July.
Yeah, it's like a battlefield out there, dude. It's like you're in Afghanistan or something, in the early 2000s with bombs going off and shit. Have you ever seen these might be the Roman candles. I've seen these dudes, and I don't want any part of this, dude. I am not interested in fireworks anymore. You guys go crazy. Blow them up. I'm done. I don't need it. I don't need to get up, blow my hand off in some kind of fireworks mishap. But dude, have you seen the guys, Tony, that stand there with almost like a tube? It's like an empty tube, and they just fire these freaking rockets out of them. I think those are the Roman candles, but they have to be shot out of a tube. It's insane looking. And we also got back-to-back comments from Stevie B and from Noemi, and it was word for word, identical text came in one after the other, and each of them said, quote, "I miss the Stick."
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I miss the Stick too. And by the way, let's put Dub City up here too. Dub City just joined the PMP. He's now become a PMP VIP, And dude, gifted 10 polymac particles. What is? I don't know what that means, but
I'm
you
not
gifted
sure
it.
either. Gifted 10 polymac number 39s. I'm
See,
a little
Pauly,
confused.
Pauly, this is exactly what we're talking about. How we're learning as we go.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know that it was possible to gift memberships, PMP VIP memberships. So Dub City, if that's the case, if you just bought 10 other memberships for other people, that is
Thank you, brother.
off the charts, man. Thank you very much, Dub City. Much love.
No, you guys, man, I love this audience so much. And by the way, I love Dub City's little icon there. It looked like we were looking out into outer space at some planetarium or something. Look at that. Yeah. Not a drum space, Tony. You know what I mean? No, nothing wrong with a good drum space.
Dude,
just for your head. Yeah.
Also, nothing wrong with sleeping on the beach in Tahoe and going to bed to that site as you look up. I mean, as you look up, there's Meeks Bay is the beach that I go to all the time in Tahoe. It's on the West Shore. It's a great freaking beach. But they don't care if you want to just, nobody does it, but I've done it a few times. They have a campsite. They have campsites behind the beach that you can book. But there's been a few times where I've just brought my sleeping bag down and a pillow, and I'll just sleep on the beach and stare right at those stars, man, because the stars are out in Tahoe, man. And so that reminds me
inside my sleeping bag, Tony. Shout out ZZ Top. Let me ask you a quick question.
Yes, I just love that track, man.
Inside my sleeping bag, dude.
Is that the same album as TV Dinners?
I think it might be. I think that's on Recycler, which was like right after Eliminate. Dude, Recycler. I think that's the same album with Rough Boy, actually, too. I think you got your sleeping bag, you got your Rough Boy. And by the way, I have it on vinyl. If anybody needs it, I got that shit on vinyl. Creative Tony, quick question about you and your Lake Tahoe passion, because Tony's like love affair with Lake Tahoe is pretty famous. And to the point where I bet you a lot of PMPers don't know this, but now I'm going to do the big reveal. Creative Tony actually has he's got a tattoo of Lake Tahoe on his back. Here's my question.
Yeah.
What year did you get that tat, and where did you get that tat? Creative Tony.
Oh boy. All right. Buckle up, dude, because this is, and we still need to get to the top three.
Hey, funny is I've known you for like 30 years, and I've never asked you that. Like, I don't know anything about this, like the origin story of that tat. It's pretty cool tat, I got to say, because if I ever got one, I would do the same thing. I would put it like on my back or the back of my neck or something. I'm not into like the arm stuff, but give me what made you do that and where? I want to know where you got the ink.
So I got it on my left shoulder. And I actually forget I even have it because I never see it. But hold on a second, Paulie. Look at what Patty from Napa just did too. Patty, wow. And, gifting memberships as well. Patty, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you guys are really blowing us away right now.
I'm getting pretty humbled over here, actually. But thank you guys very much. Really. Yeah.
Incredible. Thank you very much, Patty. And Patty, also, I got your Goggins email. Stand by. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, I can't wait. I don't know anything about this. I can't wait to see the Goggins email. Yeah. The more Goggins, the better off we're all going to be. But Tony, go ahead.
I'm learning that right now because I'm learning it as I'm watching White Lotus and Righteous Gemstones.
It's Goggins. It's all Goggins all the time. And let me tell you something else about Goggins, dude. Did you know that? And that's the guy's name. If you don't know who we're talking about, there's an actor named Walton. What an unusual name, Walton Goggins. He just hosted Saturday Night Live last week. He worked with my buddy Chris, hosted the show. And did you know, Tony? Or let me just remind you, if you didn't put this together, Walton Goggins has a pretty big role in the Tarantino movie, The Hateful Eight, with Kurt Russell and Samuel Jackson. It's like the Cowboys. They wind up in that log cabin. Yeah. Like Goggins is one of those guys. He has a big role in that movie. He's one of those Cowboys
I'll have to go revisit that because that movie was so good because it was all dialogue. The whole movie was dialogue. It was like Breakfast Club. How Breakfast Club was all dialogue, right?
Great call. And they're just in the cabin. Like 90% of the movie is them in this cabin talking and killing each other and shit. Yeah.
So real quick, my Tahoe tattoo is it's just a bird's eye view of Tahoe with the sun in the middle of it, and it's colored blue and yellow, orange. Basically, I was 21 years old living in Tahoe for the summer. And a buddy of mine and I went and said we loved playing blackjack at the Biltmore, at the North Shore Tahoe Biltmore. And we also were electrified. We had some vegetables. And while we were playing blackjack, Jamie, his name is Jamie, my buddy Pete and myself, we took over the blackjack table and we all just caught major fire. Like, I think I won almost $2,000. My buddy Jamie, a little over $1,000. My buddy Pete, like 1,500. So and the Biltmore's a small casino. So when you win that kind of, like when you win more than a few $100, they're like,
yeah,
what?
you got lights going off, streamers, the manager's coming over. Yeah, right.
And so, dude, oh my God, Don Peralta's mom was a dealer at the Biltmore. That's out.
Nice, nice, Big D.
Hey, Dom, there's a chance that your mom has dealt me some cards.
There's a chance they already tipped your mom after his big win. Here, take a chip. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
I'm a big believer in tipping.
I tip everybody. I tip everybody in my path is getting tipped, bro.
Yeah.
I used to do that shit. I was a waiter. I worked as a waiter for a while. So when it comes to like taking care of those guys, bro, I tip the shit out of these people when I'm not, unless they're totally rude or something like unusual happens. But generally speaking, bro, I like to tip. I tip very generously. Yeah.
And the dealers are very appreciative of your tips, especially if you just get a blackjack, you just get a good hand, or you just want to double down, or the dealer busted and you tip them, they're very appreciative of it. So anyways, playing blackjack, and we went on a run, but the run took a long time. So we were done at like, I don't know, 6 a.m. And you know, the casinos, there's no windows and it's all air conditioned. There's no clocks.
Of course.
21 years old. I feel like I'm invincible. So I say, my buddy Jamie says, he goes, guys, we have all this cash in our pockets. You know, why don't we just drive over the hill to Reno and get tattoos? It was like 6 a.m. I'm
so glad I asked. This is a great story. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I go,
are you like half in the bag at this point too? Are you like,
I had basically come back to reality. Basically.
You just come right through it after a while. If you just stay up all night and keep partying, like you just come through it and all of a sudden like you're sober again, even though scientifically you shouldn't be. But go ahead. I feel you. I've been there. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly the case. So we got in my Chrysler LeBaron. Remember we talked about the Chrysler LeBaron that I had. We got in the Champagne LeBaron and we drove to Reno. And we sat outside of Picture Machine Tattoo in Reno. I'll never forget it. And waited for the guy, the owner, to come and open the door.
All right.
And he's like, he walks up. He's just like, "What, guys? What?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're here to get tattoos." Because so next thing you know, we get tattoos, and I didn't even know what I was going to get. I'm like, you know what? I might as well get Tahoe. It's my favorite place in the world. That's where I won the money. And but the worst part is that I'm down face first. Because they're doing it on my back, and my head did one of those like massage pillows, you know, to go like and all of a sudden he's doing the outline of my tattoo, and he goes, the guy yells, he goes, "Oh, we got a bleeder, and I'm like, dude, what? And he goes, "Stay calm, you're cool, everything's cool. I'm like, what do you mean everything's cool? You're yelling we got a bleeder, and my face is in this massage pillow.
Something about Mary when Stiller gets his junk caught in the zipper. We got a bleeder." That's creative. Tony. Yeah. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
So then he calmed me down, because then like the anxiety, and I kind of like reconnected with the bad part of my electricity, and I was, you know, it kind of put me in almost like into a bad headspace, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, perfect. With the guy jamming a needle in your back. Yeah, not what you wanted. Yeah, exactly.
I think this worst idea. It's the worst idea. What am I doing? This is crazy. You know, Chevy Chase, and this is crazy. And he finished, but mine took longest because it had more color. But now I'm glad I did the color, because it's
that's a great tat. That's a great tat. I'm glad I asked. Let me give you a quick story, a little Rags and I story, not about tattoos, but about waiting for something to open. We had a party. This is like in the early 90s. This was at the Megan Galloway night, Rags, with Kathy Connors and all of them. There was like 5 or 6 of us at this little get together, and we basically drank an entire quarter keg between like 5 people. We were all hammered. I remember at one point, dude, I face planted. I went down and I cut my head and I cut my knee. So I had a wound on my head, a wound on my knee, because I went all the way that night. Bam, right down. So the next morning, we all sleep over this girl's house. I think it was Megan's house, Megan Galloway, and Rags. It's like 6 a.m, and Rag starts walking through the house screaming, "Everybody wake up, we're going to Johnny's." And Johnny's is like the local bar we all used to hang out in. So it's like 6 a.m, and I remember I got out of bed and I looked down the hall, and this girl whose house we were at, like her older brother or some shit, was like, I don't even know this guy, but I looked down the hall and I see this guy, he's like putting his shoes on, because Rags was like yelling at everybody, "Everybody wake up, we're going to Johnny's." So we go to Johnny's, it's closed. They hadn't opened yet. It was like 7 a.m. So we decided to go to a diner. And when I remember about this period of time, this is like 1991, Rags had a pair of glasses that only had one lens in it. One of the lenses fell out. So he looked like utterly insane walking around with like this one lens. And we go to this diner and we're sitting there and we're not in a good place. So they wound up throwing us out of the diner. They kicked us out of the diner.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I know. They threw us out. They're like, guys, the language. We're like, sorry. So they kicked us out. So then we drove right back to Johnny's, the bar. Tony's still not open. What do? We just dropped anchor. We just sat in front of the door until they came and opened the bar in the morning. And then we just commenced to doing what we were doing, just getting our beers. But it was like 8 a.m. We're sitting there waiting for them to open the doors. I've been there.
I love it, Paulie. And it reminds me of the time that you and I got kicked out of Kate O'Brien's back in the day when we were.
Oh, great night, dude. Great night. The best part about this story is I had to ride the bus home, the 38, the dirty 8, dude. I was living out near USF, and I rode the bus home soaked in beer.
Yeah.
Soaked. No one would come anywhere near me. Yeah, it's a great one.
Darren Chan was with us, the Giants engineer.
Rick Foreman, too.
Rick Foreman, Troy Clarity, the voice of Stanford Cardinal football, was one of the voices of Stanford Cardinal hoops too. He was with us too, Troy Clarity. And I forget who it was, but somebody, as we got kicked out, somebody just took a basket of fries and just threw them straight in the air. And I was like, that's the worst decision possible. But
that was you. You threw the fucking fries, man.
Me?
And I told you before you did it, I said, because we were ordering, rounds of drinks were coming over, and we were essentially taking sips and just throwing beers in each other's faces. Like, we got totally out of control. I don't know what was with us that night. We don't usually behave this way. But, everybody was throwing beers at each other. And I'm talking about full pint glasses of beer. Wham! Right in your face, right in my face. So I'm soaked in beer. And then we're like, yeah, we need another round. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I could see they were getting pissed. They were not happy. St. O'Brien's is like an Irish pub. You don't mess around in some of these places, man.
And
so
good people in there. They're really good people in there. I went back the next day and apologized. Like I was like, that bar was our home away from home next to KMBR. And so I had to go back the next day and apologize.
I don't even think you know what happened. So let me tell you my vantage point of this whole thing. So at one point, somebody ordered a plate of fries. I just remember that, and I go, oh man, here we go. So like we're already soaked in beer. I see the waitress coming over with a plate of fries. I'm like, this is really bad. And as soon as they went on the table, Tony picked up the plate, like a big plate of fries, and I could tell you were getting ready to do something effed up. And I said, Tony, just know, as soon as you throw these fries, we're getting thrown out of here. And Tony picked the fries up, threw the plate up in the air. Now, like, boom, all the fries come to, and then here they come from behind the bar, 3 or 4 of these guys. All of you guys, out. And they're like dragging us out the door. And as they were dragging us out the door, to your point about how bad we felt, I was like throwing money at these guys. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Like now that I remember it, I remember it now.
Yeah, I'm like, God, I'm sorry about that. Sorry. I was just like trying to make up and I'm throwing $5 bills around. Oh, dude, that was crazy.
I like how you didn't say, Tony, don't throw those fries. You said, Tony, if you throw those fries, almost as if it was a dare.
Well, I knew there was no stopping you. No, you had that look in your eye, and I was like, Tony, just know when you throw these fries, we're getting thrown out of here. Like I called my shot like Babe Ruth. I knew. Look at this.
Yeah, so Dub City, thank you for the super. If Champagne LeBaron was the name of a band, Champagne LeBaron was the car I had back in right out of college. Was the name of a band, what style of music would they play? I would say some reggae.
This is the greatest question of the week, by the way. Dub City, I love where your head's at. This is beautiful. I love this question. Keep going. Reggae, what else?
It was some reggae, some yacht rock, and some 80s pop and 80s rock. I think it would be the combo.
You and I are 100% on the same page. My immediate answer would have been like Christopher Cross. You know what I mean? Ride Like the Wind. Like that's Champagne LeBaron, like personified. That was good.
If you could hold on, if you could go from like a Marley into Christopher Cross into Motley Crue, like that's a pretty good, and then back into Jimmy Cliff, and then back into say Michael McDonald, and then back into I don't know.
Couple tracks off Out of the Cellar by Rat.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe In Your Direction in Lack of Communication. Both great tracks. All right. Tony, are we even in the top 3? I don't know what's going on anymore, dude. This thing is so far adrift.
I got to go. Pine Needle's the super as well. Pine Needle, what's up, brother? Pine Needle, thank you very much for the super. Best New Jersey mob name ever. Paulie. face. Boy,
I'm not, and you know what sucked about this? I mean, a lot of things sucked about this, but I was working at that. I've mentioned this before. Everybody loves when I talk about this, but it's true. I worked at Salvador Ferragamo in the city. High-end fashion, dude. High-end fashion. The highest. Like, we're talking world-renowned, like supermodels coming in and shit. And I had to go to work with a big gash on my head and my knee. And they're like, what is this kid doing on the weekend? Like, what is this guy doing? What do you got?
Hold on. Again, known you for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
You worked in a high fashion store. Like, what did you do? I need to hear.
It wasn't the store. It was like their office. It was like the corporate office.
I was imagining you like all decked out in like a suit, trying to like sell clothing to people.
No, nothing like that, dude. I was sitting there like on the phone, basically in the office. But it was. I mean, listen, this is like ultra high end fashion. Salvador Ferragamo, man, that's a brand like that should cost like a couple of grand to buy a pair of their shoes. But anyway, I had to go in like with all the face plant wounds and stuff. It was bad. Knee, head, big cuts on each. That's how it used to go. Yeah,
that is hilarious, man. And so now we're gonna get back to the quick version of top three. Okay, version of top three.
Have we even done one yet? I don't even remember. Honestly, I don't forget where we are.
No, we haven't done one. So
let's do the top three. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
The quick Giannis talk, right? There's all this Giannis talk. It's heating up now that the Warriors are out of the playoffs. For the Warriors to even consider Giannis's max deal, Curry, Butler, Draymond, they can't keep all three. Obviously, it's not going to be Steph. If you had to keep Draymond or Curry, Draymond or Butler, what are you doing, Paulie? If you're Joe,
watch me jock and piss off Creative Tony all in one fell swoop right here. I'm getting rid of Jimmy Butler, and I'll tell you why. I love Jimmy Butler. I really, really do. And I hope that they can keep these guys together. But like you said, if you are going after a big fish like Giannis, you got to cut some of this stuff loose. But again, I believe in my heart and soul that Steph Curry wants to be paired with Draymond Green until the end of his days as a player. I really believe that. And I actually know that. I know Draymond and Steph have a pact that they are going to go out together and they want to win another title together. So all of that being said, the other thing about Butler is he's an older player. Draymond and Steph are old enough as it is. You know what I mean? So Butler, as much as I love him, you wouldn't need what he brings to the team if Giannis was here. Like if Giannis was here, he'll give you all the scoring Butler could give you and then some. And he's a big in the paint. This is what we talk about all the time. So for me, I would keep Draymond and Steph together and cut Butler loose and get Giannis. That's me.
Okay. All right, okay, cool. And number two on this, because we're going to move through this. We already talked about Kuminga. And there's probably they're a sign and trade this summer.
Yeah.
So we already know kind of like I kind of think the time to sell on Kuminga. We both agree on that. Now's the time to sell. It was almost like it was a showcase for the playoffs, were like a showcase for him or something. So, but I'm going to be a total dick here and say, what if?
Yeah.
Part of the conversation this summer is bringing LeBron to the Bay.
Oh, man. I think, first of all, let me say, I know it's like, shit, here we go. First of all,
it's going to come up. You know it's going to come up.
You want to know what I think, dude? I think, first of all, LeBron James, and this is crazy talk now, but I actually believe this. I think LeBron James is envious of Steph Curry in a variety of ways.
I agree 100%. Agree 100%.
LeBron James is such a narcissist. He's the highest level of narcissist in professional sports. And he is great. Don't get me wrong. I know the guy's great. I know he's going to the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best players of our generation. I don't think he's the best, but I think he's one of the best. I think LeBron James would move heaven and earth to play on the same team as Steph Curry. I think just look at, dude, go back and look at the footage in the Olympics. I don't need this shit, though, on a nightly basis, dude. I'm trying to watch basketball. Oh, I had kind of forgotten about that, dude. Peekaboo, Bronny. Peekaboo. Let's see him again. Come on, play peekaboo. Oh. Leave that there. Just leave that right there for the rest of the show. I want to keep that there. I want to look at that as I talk about LeBron James. Dude, look at him. Dude, this is a grown man here in his 40s acting this way. I never saw Magic Johnson do that. I never saw James Worthy or Michael Jordan or Patrick Ewing fake flop calls and then look around for the refs. Anyway, Tony, no, to answer your question, I don't want the headache of LeBron James. I don't want the whole, like, he would take over, he would suck all the oxygen out of the room. This is Steph Curry's team. It's going to continue to be Steph Curry's team. When Jimmy Butler, who is also a Hall of Famer, came to San Francisco, he said, hey, I'm totally cool taking a back seat. This is Steph's team. He's Batman, I'm Robin. I don't think those words would ever come out of LeBron James's mouth. I don't think he would concede leadership of the team to Steph. And that would have to be the. And Steph is so cool, too. You remember when Durant came? Steph was like, hey, man, I'll take a back seat. Whatever gets us the rings. And Steph's numbers took a hit when Kevin Durant came. But Steph is so selfless and he's so about winning that he could make that kind of compromise. I don't think LeBron James could.
I agree, Paulie. I do not want LeBron. I don't want LeBron. I just don't. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't want to have to root for him. Is that am I a dick? Am I selfish?
No, I feel the same way. I don't want to have to root for him either. No, and I don't want him on the Warriors. I don't. To answer your question, no,
me neither. Okay, so that and we will move on from that. And finally, Paulie, number 3. It's not a sports question. We haven't done this in a while. Where it's not sports. It's number 3 is usually a wild card. And I had 2 different ideas. I wanted to talk about those new Waymo cars, but we're not going to talk about that today. But I wanted to talk about relationship bliss, right? Because we talked about couples counseling, remember, in the bummer bracket. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I got a lot to say about couples counseling. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. I want to know, and I'm going to leave LeBron up there for a while if you don't mind. I want to know, separate? I'm a firm believer in separate bathrooms for a blissful relationship. Do you agree or disagree, or do you share your bathroom with Liz and you guys have like separate sinks and it's like brushing next to each other?
Totally coordinated brushing our teeth. Hey, it's time to brush our teeth. Let's go. Like, we have it down to a science, Tony. At 8:15 every night, we brush teeth together. No, I got to say, well, first of all, let's be real. This is the Bay Area. Every square inch is worth like $3 million of property. So I don't know how many people actually have the ability to have separate bathrooms for like husband and wife or partners, whatever the lineup is, whatever it looks like at your place. But ideally, Tony, separate the stuff, man. You get your stuff over there, I'll be over here. Because let's face it, like women, I don't think any woman wants to share a bathroom with a dude. I just don't. I don't even care if it's Brad Pitt, man, or like some like, you know what I mean? Like I don't care if the guy who plays Thor, what's his name, Hemsworth, whatever. That guy takes his shirt off. He's an Adonis. I think women like having their own space. Right. I think they like doing their own, like, whatever, all their stuff, like grooming and plucking of eyebrows or whatever goes on in the ladies' room. Like, I think they like having a private space to do that. I know, but not everybody has the luxury of having 2 separate bathrooms. But ideally, Tony, the answer would be yes.
Yes.
By the way, guys are effing gross. I know. Believe me, I am one. I see what happens. Like, it's a mess. Everything's a mess. There's stuff all over the place. There's books lying around. Dude, books in the bathroom. Books. I got books. I got magazines. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of stuff. Like, they don't want to be a part of that. I totally get it. And I think that women should have their own privacy, if possible.
So, funny experiment we're doing right now in my house is that my daughter and I, we have 2 bathrooms in our house. My daughter and I are actually trying to share a bathroom right now. And my daughter's 10, and boy, oh boy, is that she just moved in, man. Everything is hers in there. It's incredible.
All right, Tony. No, I bet. No, of course. You'll be out of there short. You'll be brushing your teeth in the driveway in about a week.
Well, yeah, we're going to have a porta potty in the backyard probably.
That'll be yours. That'll be Tony's bathroom. So a couple of quick comments here. Beat LA, who I'm assuming is maybe a woman. I didn't realize that. Great to have you, Beat LA. She goes, sorry, I'm going out of my mind with pee on the steam. I get it. I do. I get it's not like we're trying to do that either. It just happened. Whoops, I missed. Okay, there's one. Okay. Noemi comes in. See, this doesn't surprise me. Noemi is such a doll. She goes, thankfully, at Ray Goodman is not gross. Our restroom is clean. See, that's what I could tell Noemi and Ray have like a special thing. You can tell. Like, I think we're all going to be envious of their dynamic ultimately. And then Don Peralta, we're like a Jeep. Yeah, totally. We're like utility vehicles, man. Not glamorous. We're trying to get from A to B without a whole lot of fanfare. But anyway, if you're asking again, the ideal situation, I think I think separate bathrooms would serve everybody probably best, making for Tony ultimately a happier relationship, right?
Yeah,
I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know.
100%. My uncle has a theory that if couples just lived next door to each other, that divorces would decrease in a big way. That if people just live next door to each other, and like a lot of nights, like, hey, what are we doing tonight? And other nights, I'm gonna go hang out solo. I'm gonna go make dinner and watch like 7 episodes of Gemstones or whatever.
Oh God, it just flew by. Let's see. There's so much going on right now. You touched the nerve today. Jeff Winkler, here comes Winks. Ladies aren't much better. Nothing cool about walking into an office bathroom after a 20-something girl walks out, dropping. Oh, boy, okay. I got you. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm not even going to get into the rest of it. I feel you. Patty liked it, though. So did Rags. Okay. Everybody likes Winks' stuff. I got you, man. Yeah, let's separate the two. We got separation of church and state. I want separation of men's room, ladies' room, just for the sake of a happy relationship overall. That's all. That's all. Yeah. And I'm not trying to upset anybody. Like, I'm really not. Like,
no.
There's no. Dude, Rags, you remember when I rented that house with Doug Heinrich in Lake Hiawatha? I rented a house with my buddy in Jersey. That bathroom, by the time we were done living in that place, I mean, the bath, like the toilet was like wobbly. Like it was barely even usable. So, dude, I know guys are just wrecking machines of disgusting filth. Creative Tony, how was your bathroom when you lived with the Tedder? I don't remember, but it probably wasn't that great.
It wasn't that great. And the bathroom I had in college when I lived with 5 other guys wasn't that great. But it was manageable. But I definitely, if I knew my parents were visiting me in college, or if we were hosting a little shindig and we were going to have girls visiting, we always tried to clean it up, but it wasn't nice.
It's not anything you're going to see in Architectural Digest or anything like that. Probably no. Hey, Creative Tony, I'm going to let everybody get out of here. I want to make one last announcement though. Looking ahead to tomorrow, I want to say that music assignment. I want to give the music assignment out right now. So if you guys want to play along and send your submissions into the email box, please do go ahead and do that. Tony, I thought, and you give me your 2 cents on this. If you like it, you don't like it, we can tweak it if you need to. But I was thinking, just since the Warriors have been eliminated, what about songs having to do with the end of something, like The Doors? This is the end. Okay, like so songs about the end of stuff, songs about finality, songs about goodbye, anything about the song about just things coming to a close or the end of something. Could be anything. That's kind of where I want to go. What do you think of that, T?
When the music's over, turn out the light.
Turn out the light. Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. pollyspod@gmail.com. Send us your songs, pollyspod@gmail.com. You can also post them on social media as well and tag us, but the best way is send them to us, pollyspod@gmail.com. And Polly, before we wrap here, I promised I would do this, and so we're going to do it. This is something that you need to see. It's something that Patty from Napa sent in, and wait till you see it. You're going to love it. This is your guy. Have you seen this?
No, but I know that's Goggins. Yeah, look at him. Beautiful. Oh, the Met Gala.
Goggins.
Okay.
At the Met Gala, and he's wearing a skirt. I'm going to let it roll. Here we go.
Oh, beautiful.
Look at him.
Yeah,
check him out.
Goggins. You show off your stuff.
Check him out. Look at this guy.
No, that's my guy. No.
And here he goes, and he's got the skirt, and he does a little twirl. Look at this. Come on.
Yeah, Goggins.
I mean, come on.
You know what, bro? I'm this close to skirting up myself. I think I've had it. I've had it with jeans. I've had it with sweatpants. I want to feel what I really do. I want to feel what it feels like to be that free. You know what I mean? To have like no restrictions of any kind. Like you just got this big cloth in front of you. That's very appealing to me. No, I hadn't seen that, and that makes me love Goggins even more. It really does.
Look, come on. Look at him right there. Paulie, I've done the skirt. I highly recommend it. I did it at Fish New Year's in Y2K, and it was phenomenal. It wasn't just like good. It was fantastic. So thank you, Goggins, for the inspiration. It's free. And what I like too is I kept on like fanning myself with the skirt.
Yeah.
And it felt incredible.
No, that's what I'm talking about. I want to feel that. I want that breeze. I want the whole thing. Yeah. Give me a breeze. Dude, give me a cool breeze. Dude, we got a lot of great reactions today. Everyone's checking in with their thoughts about skirts. Hey, one other thing about Walton Goggins. We were talking about great Walton Goggins roles. I mentioned his Tarantino stuff. He was also in Django Unchained. He was one of those horrible slave owners down there. And somebody, I think it was John Joseph at one point, yeah, you ever notice Walton Goggins really plays a racist really well? No, he doesn't. My God. No, but he does. No, he's so convincing. You're right about that. And then, but the other one I wanted to mention is he had a role on that biker show, the Sons of Anarchy. If you ever saw the Sons of Anarchy, it's kind of like, it's about a motorcycle club, kind of like the Hells Angels, that kind of thing. Did you watch Sons, Tony? I don't even know if you were down with that.
I did. And a dear friend of mine, her sister was the costume designer for Sons of Anarchy. So I watched with vested interest.
Check it out. Walton Goggins played I guess you would say a cross-dressing trans man on Sons of Anarchy. I'm talking, oh yeah, final couple seasons, dude. And I'm talking like breasts. I'm talking fake knit, like the whole thing, like all the way. Look him up online. Look up Walton Goggins, Sons of Anarchy. You'll see what I'm talking about, dude. He is fully loaded with fake breasts, the dresses, the skirts, and then one of the biker guys falls in love with him. So they become like a couple. It's amazing. By the way, check out. So the very kind of the variety of roles a Walton Goggins could play and has played are worth you checking out. Yes,
please don't spoil it, because I'm so curious about his character in White Lotus. Like, I have no idea where that's going, because I've only seen one episode and he's very unhappy.
Yeah,
he's with this girl and I don't even know what their setup is yet. And he's like looking at her like kind of like, what am I doing with this girl? Like, it's very.
How about the fact that when they're taking the boat to the island, he's drilling butts, he's smoking butts on the boat, and then like the guy from Duke is getting pissed. They almost start throwing hands on the fucking boat to the vacation. This is supposed to be a relaxing like Buddhist vacation. They're smoking, they're fighting. Anyway, no, you're gonna love Goggins on White Lotus. I'm jealous. I wish I was just starting it myself. Steven, here's a new name. I don't think I've seen.
Dude, Steve, I love this guy. This was the guy who was the catcher for me in the SI alumni game, who watched me give up. He was the catcher when I got pulled from the alumni game because I gave up I think a grand slam and 2 ground rule doubles, or 2 doubles off the wall. Steve was the catcher who was there to witness me getting yanked in the middle of the inning of an alumni game. So Steve, thanks for joining the PMP Army, buddy. Thanks for being a PMP VIP. Thank you, brother.
This is why I love Tony, and it's one of the reasons I love Tony. And like this, he's such a Tony is like, he will make fun of himself at the drop of a hat. And like the fact that you just said, that's the day they pulled me, dude. When you told me that story, that was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. You tell me about how he was like, Paulie, he was like, I was really trying to get these kids out. I was giving it everything I had. And they were like blasting me and like laughing and pointing as they're around the basin. Really funny stuff, Tony. Hey, let's get out of here, but let's talk about Low T real quick and flex funding before we do. Low Steve is out here. He's been a part of the show today. I saw his name several times in the comments line. You know him. He's our good buddy. He is Carlos De La Fuente at Flex Funding. Give him a shout. Have a conversation. 925-250-4894. Carlos, excuse me. He is licensed in the state of California. What does that mean? That means regardless of where you're watching the show, you could be up in Sacramento, you could be up in Tahoe, you could be in Redding, you could be, I don't know, Tony, in San Diego, you could be in Pismo Beach, on and on and on it goes. My point is, he can help you no matter where you are in the state. That's really big. We talk about his services when it comes to your finances. We're talking about mortgage. We're talking about loans. He's a mortgage broker who offers a variety of ways to improve your situation. Maybe it's a HELOC loan, home equity line of credit. That's something Carlos specializes in. So if you and your spouse, or you're a single guy, single girl, whatever the situation is, and you would like to improve your financial situation, or maybe you just want to change it, maybe you want to look into like a lower rate, talk to Carlos about that. The one other great thing about Carlos too, before I let you go, Tony, is you can trust him. He's a trustworthy guy. He's totally one of us. He grew up in the Bay Area, hardcore Niner fan, who, by the way, believes in tough love. I'm never going to forget that. That was funny. There he is right there. Look at him. Come on. Look at the charm of a Carlos. He's a very seductive guy with his kind of his easygoing demeanor, the shades on, shades off. Talk to Carlos about your situation and let him get you in a better place. Last thing, he just partnered with a new lender, by the way, who's got great rates. So talk to Carlos and let him go to work for you and improve your financial situation, Tony.
Yeah, Steve, we talked about earlier about how we're on a text message thread with Los during these games and how he's keeping it real about the future of the Warriors. He keeps it real about the Niners O-line situation. That's what he does in business too. He keeps it real. He's not going to waste your time. He's also going to make sure he can try and take care of you. He can think outside the box. And like Paul, you did the Allison Chains earlier in the show, think outside the box instead of man inside the box.
Yeah.
Think outside the box with Los. If you have a situation, present it to him. He'll try and see if there's something he can do for you. And also, Los checked in on the comment line. He says, huge news as I'm in my sales meeting. They now partner with a lender who can go down to a 550 pick credit to buy on an FHA government loan. He says that's big news. So Los is on it. He's on top of his S. I don't want to say it during the spot, but Los is on top of his S, and he will make sure he can try and do something for you. He's not going to, if he can't do something for you, he's not going to try and force you to do something. He keeps it real, right? That's why we love Los, and that's why we partner with Los, is because he keeps it real, and he's going to try and take care of you, and he wants to build a relationship. So 925-250-4894, 925-250-4894, or Carlos at myflexnow.com.
Thank you, Creative Tony. Very well said. I love the passion. I love the information as well. And now I want to talk about Dr. Matt Young as we say goodbye today. Dr. Matt Young, our latest and greatest sponsor and supporter of Polymac Particles. The Young Dental Group has been taking care of me for over a decade now, and I've gotten to know this guy. He's seen my kids grow up. I've seen his kids grow up, and I feel like these are the kind of occupations you like having an in with, like your dentist, a mechanic, somebody like who does work that you just need to trust. As Carlos, guys like that, people that you can trust. You can definitely trust Dr. Matt Young. He's a family man in San Francisco. He's been in business over 25 years. He is his services and his work are fantastic, by the way. I would definitely not steer you wrong when it comes to dental stuff, because I was such a little fraidy cat for so long. I neglected going. I just stopped going. And then finally, when my friend Natalie was like, you should really try my guy, Dr. Matt Young. He's like really cool. He's not going to do anything like that you don't want him to do. Just go talk to him. And I did. I trust Natalie, and I went in and boom, I was an instant fan, and I know you will be too. So if it's time for an appointment, maybe you just want to clean up your teeth a little bit, dude. Get all that gunk scraped off them. He can do that for you too. info@youngdentalsf.com. Shoot him an email. Tell him what you'd like to have done. He can definitely take care of it for you. His staff is great, by the way, too. When you call the office, I mean, everybody's super helpful. 415-392-8611. This is an award-winning dentist, Tony. In fact, he's also the president of the American Academy of Implant Dentistry. He's one of the very best at what he does. Creative Tony, I'm going to let you sing the praises of the weekend hours on the way out, too. But in the meantime, I cannot give you the highest recommendation for Matt Young. Go check him out. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll be an instant fan. Go ahead, T.
You said anxiety, and I'm not going to sing Jason Isbell's song Anxiety, but the song I love. It's a great song by Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. But that song makes me think of Dr. Young, because people do get anxious or are anxiety filled when they think about going to the dentist. That's why we love Dr. Young, because he puts you at ease. If he's going to set the vibe with the music you like, if you want to give you some reading material that you like, whatever, he's going to chill you out and make sure that it's a comfortable situation. So that's why we love Dr. Young. And also the Saturday thing, man, our lives are crazy. It's crazy. Like I always, my mantra is I'm going to miss it when it's gone. But right now my life is insane with youth sports, youth school events, all kinds of stuff. And I love it, but I'm literally running in 3 different directions because of the kids. And I love it, but I'm going to miss it when it's gone. That's why the Saturdays open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. is huge. And then it's on Post Street. They're on Post Street in Union Square. You can also make a day of it in San Francisco as well. So info@youngdentalsf.com or 415-392-8611, 415-392-8611. And on that note, Paulie, Ray, our dear friend Ray, is a super, and I want to get him up here. Where did he go? Because he had a super, and he had he said he was right here. He was just a super on the way out. He says going to the Absinthe Bar in New Orleans in NOLA on 49ers weekend. Ray, I hope to meet you there, buddy, because New Orleans is my favorite city. I love Niner ball. I've done it 3 times. where I've gone to Niner games on Sundays and LSU football games on Saturdays. And it's a phenomenal weekend. I don't know if that links up, if LSU's playing at home yet. I haven't looked. But if anybody gets a chance to do LSU, if they're playing at home, LSU on Saturday and Niners on Sunday, one of the greatest weekends you could ever have, sports and culture and New Orleans. It's incredible. So Ray,
Tony didn't even mention the food. It's one of the greatest food cities in the entire world. I mean, they got like world-renowned chefs, but there's so much great like local cuisine on every single street. You don't need truth of the matter is with New Orleans, you don't even really need an event. Jazz Fest is great. Mardi Gras is great. Going to see a Niner game down there is great, but you don't even really need any of that stuff. Like, it's always happening in New Orleans. There's always a ton of music, and there's always a great time to be had by all. Creative Tony, really fun show today. Don't forget about the music assignment tomorrow. You guys send in your songs of the end, songs about the end of something, songs about saying goodbye. As we do, we wish the Warriors well as they go into their off season and try to rebuild this whole damn thing. We will be back tomorrow for a high noon broadcast. Going to be a tight one tomorrow. A few bonus minutes today because I got to get out. I got this Metallica meeting that's happening in downtown San Rafael like at 1:15. So I got to hustle down there and end the show at 1. And then I'm going to hook you guys up. It's all about hooking up our people. I hope to come back from that with a bunch of tickets, and then we're going to give them away on the show. Creative Tony, that's all I got today. I want to say thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Tony, your final thoughts. Go ahead.
I just looked it up. LSU is hosting Florida on Saturday, September 13th. Niners at the Superdome Sunday, September 14th. My God, does that set up for an amazing weekend? Holy S. I'm just saying, if you can make it happen. Baton Rouge is only about 45 minutes away from New Orleans. If you can make it happen, and plus Death Valley, that stadium is one of the greatest stadiums in college football. I'm just saying, if you can make it happen, the stars are aligning for this, Paulie. The particles are aligning for this weekend, Paulie. We may need to think about, I don't know.
Well, I would love that. And I know what's going to happen, too. Once we have like a tailgate party at the Metallica show and we get all our friends together here, it's going to be like we're going to set a precedent. I'm serious. We're going to wind up setting a precedent because it's going to be such a great time that's going to be like, now we got to take this thing on the road and get down to New Orleans. You don't have to twist my arm, dude. I'm easy to convince. I'm all in. So
let's talk. And just people, make it happen. Get to New Orleans to see Niner ball, and if you can get to Tiger Stadium to see some LSU Tiger football as well. Because college football here, love my Cal Bears, and also I root for Stanford as well, which is I know it pisses off my Cal Bear friends because I didn't go to either school. But college football in the SEC in the South, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
Okay, also looking ahead, Creative Tony had a really interesting idea today about reintroducing the brackets, which we're going to do during the NBA Finals. We'll tell you more about that tomorrow, but he had a really good idea that we'll bust out for everybody. I think you guys are going to enjoy this because it involves the audience in a big way. So the NBA Finals brackets are coming up. More on that tomorrow. Music assignment tomorrow. We get you ready for the weekend. And Tony, that's all I got today. Professor Roth, dismiss the class if you could. Class dismissed. Hell yeah, man. On the way out. Thank you, boys. Thank you, Jeff Winkler. Thank you, NorCal Refrigeration, Don Peralta, Scarlet Fire, Miguel, Rags, John Joseph, Noemi, Leah Phillips, Marky Graves, Stevie B, Tony. The list goes on and on and on and on. And I freaking love you guys, man. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Peace to all of y'all. Enjoy your Thursday. Giants off today. Watch Denver tonight. That could be the final game of the series. Denver and OKC. It's going to be interesting. Whoever advances there to take on Minnesota. I'm very interested in that, so I'll be watching. And then we'll be back tomorrow, man. We'll get you ready for the weekend. Everybody have a great Thursday. Enjoy this beautiful weather in the Bay. And thanks for tuning in today. Peace, y'all.
Peace.